I have a book haul for you guys today. This was the result of going to a used bookstore that I haven't been to in a while, but their prices are 50 cents for a paperback and $1 for a hardcover. I compiled a list of books that I wanted to read and I went there to see what I could find. I found a good deal of them and I found some other things that weren't on the list, but for those prices you can afford to experiment. So this is the haul. This is what's coming up. If you want to see what I got, stick around. My list, like all of my books, comprised itself of some fantasy, some literary, some experimental. There's a little bit of everything. Some of the books here I have in digital on my Kindle, but I wanted to get a physical copy because I'm going to review some of these books and what makes structural integrity hold up. And in that respect, we have a slightly beat up copy of Game of Thrones, but for 50 cents and for a workbook, that's fine. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while and hopefully will prove entertaining in a future up and coming video. Okay, number 2 on the list. This is The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga. This was his debut novel, and he won the 2008 Booker Prize in the very year that this novel came out. I don't know about you, but I love a success story like that. When somebody puts the effort into something that they care about and it goes to the top of a prize list that's as prestigious as the Booker Prize, they've done something right. And for me, I want to look at that book and see what they've done. And I do all kinds of reading into prize-winning novels, best-selling novels, to see what they have in common and also how they hold up structurally. So to me, this I think will be a good read. It sounds very intriguing. I mean, the back of it, if you've never heard of this book, says Baltram Howlwhy is a complicated man. Servant, philosopher, entrepreneur, and murderer. Over the course of 7 nights, Baltram tells us the terrible and transfixing story of how he became successful in life, having nothing but his own wits to help him along, and with a charisma as undeniable as it is unexpected. Balram teaches us that religion doesn't always create virtue, and money doesn't always solve every problem, but decency can still be found in a corrupt world, and you can get what you want out of life if you eavesdrop on the right conversations. So to me, that sounded like an interesting character. I love eccentric characters. I love comparison with prize-winning novels and how they hold up on a level with popular novels, and for my own writing and what I could learn from something like this. The cardboard cutout of the car, there's a little bit of a ding here, as you might expect. That's the first thing that gets beat up when these books get tossed around, but other than that, it's in pretty perfect shape, which is very nice for 50 cents. Third on my list is Time's Arrow by Martin Amis. This was another book that was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize in '91, and Amis is also the author of London Fields, and he taught at the University of Manchester as a creative writing professor. I believe he was listed as one of the 50 greatest writers, and I've been meaning to also get some of his work. When I am looking at editing in terms of my book that I finished during Camp Nano this summer, when I edit, I like to read some more literary novels. It just puts me in the frame of mind to think the best possible wording that I can. I think if you aim high and look at some of the prize-winning novels and better writers, you're aiming at a certain area that even if you don't reach, you're still reaching for something. And it's going to be higher than what you stumble into on your own. I say always go for whatever is going to bring you up to the next level. And for me, that's just reading guys like this before I edit. The next two we're going to do together. They're both by Don DeLillo. Now, this is a guy who was a novelist, screenwriter, playwright, essayist. He's done it all. And he's just one of those authors that I've never read. I put him on my list because of his literary expertise. Libra, this talks about the life of Lee Harvey Oswald and gives a perspective on the whole Kennedy assassination thing. So if you're into conspiracy theories and all that, then here's a good book written by a good writer. Then we have Underworld, which was one of his most popular novels, and this thing is a monster. But it's a kind of an epic that goes from the 1950s to the 90s. It covers many historical events along the way, and the protagonist is throughout trying to come to terms with the disappearance of his father. So these books were on my list, and to find both of them for $1 each, thought was a win. The next one on my list is one I'm sure everyone will recognize. I found a nice first American edition Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is in pristine shape. Now this wasn't $1. The bookstore has books up front that they consider to be special books, something that's like a first edition or in really good shape by a well-known author. This cost me $3, but still that would hardly cover the cost of shipping if I bought it on Amazon. I needed to get a hard copy of this as well because in my series on structure, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first book that I'm going to sit and dissect and analyze from a structural perspective. It's probably been done before, but I don't know if it's been overdone, at least not that I've seen. And I want to take it from my perspective and really dig into this. I think it will be a fun project to do and something that hopefully will be videos that you guys want to see. And last but not least is The Moor's Last Sigh by Salman Rushdie. This was his 5th novel, and when you're reading Rushdie, it almost doesn't matter what he's writing about. You'll always find very good words and inspiring prose. I mean, it's just something that you can sit back and savor and find that you want to make your writing a little bit better. At least that's how I feel when I read his stuff. So this one takes place in India, follows the life of an exile from India to Spain and all of his little adventures, crime lords, and curses. So it sounds kind of adventurous and fun, and I'm sure it will be a well-written adventure. So this stack of books, 7 books, including the special version of Harry Potter that cost me $3, was $7 for the whole stack. So this is a lot of reading, a lot of pages, projects, future videos, and just when you think that this is the end, it's not, because the Snack Master also found a couple of books. Since it's getting cooler weather, we found one on fall soups and cookies for grown-ups. You may see some of these come in during some of my vlogging sessions. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this foray into my reading habits, and we will have more coming up because the books that I put on my list that I didn't find in the bookstore, I ordered from eBay. I found some really good prices, and we're going to have some unboxings and some future book hauls, and I think that's going to be something that I'm going to add at least sporadically to my channel, do some reviews along the way and kind of coexist with Booktube. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe, and leave your comments or your own book suggestions below if you think it's something that you want to see me dissect in the future, or that you think I would enjoy reading based on my own reading habits, which you are now aware of. So until next time, keep reading those inspiring words, keep those keyboards clacking. That's all I've got.